Good morning. We'll give just a moment to clear the waiting room. Good morning. This is the voting hearing of the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Thursday, November 14th, 2024. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. While the public is encouraged to attend, there will be no additional testimony accepted this morning. Begin with the license premise inspection hearing, which occurred on Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. Item number 1, MRJ Inc. doing business as the Hub Pub, located at 18 Province Street. Date of the incident, August 3rd, 2024. Assault and battery, patron on employee in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. And assault and battery, employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
Thanks, Danny. For number 1, I see no violation.
I had a violation. They put their hands on this patron. I think they can confuse the issue by talking about spitting, but in the police report, it was clear that it was the patron who said he was spit on. They never mentioned being spit on in the police report. They admitted to putting their hands on him, and to me, they didn't justify the need for it. If you have a patron who's refusing to leave and they're not physically threatening you, the answer is to call the police, not to grab them and throw them out. So I had a violation.
Yeah, I actually agree. They said the kind of hold that they had on him, and it sounded like some sort of tackle, or I can't remember the terminology they used, but I remember it didn't sound like something that was befitting of a security person. And they also mentioned that he was on the spectrum, so they recognized that he like looked past them, and I think it was probably pretty obvious that he wasn't that he's on the spectrum.
So Commissioner Carr and Commissioner Saxon vote for a violation. Chairman Joyce, no violation from you?
Yeah, I'll hold on to my vote.
Okay, and then as for the disposition of the violation, there is no history at this location.
Yeah, I would vote for a warning.
And especially correspondence that talks about those kinds of policies of being able to call the police and not using physical force, or unnecessary physical force.
Yep, reminder to call police and use of force. So violation with a warning and correspondence. Item number 2, GSTH Investment Group LLC doing business as Bijou and Rock and Rye, located at 51 Stewart Street. Date of the incident, October 6th, 2024. Person under 21 in possession of alcohol on premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 34A, 34C, and 64 to 64A. We did hear from the licensee that there is no video available from that evening. They did offer to provide video of their ID checking procedures on other evenings if the board is interested.
I am not interested, but I do have some comments. I find it peculiar that they have video of other nights, but just can't seem to find the video from this evening. Despite all that, I mean, with that being said, I do see a violation here. And I felt like they were evasive in their answers to the questions about what their procedures were or whether they were followed that night. They just kept repeating our procedures are X, Y, and Z. I think my direct questions were they followed that night, and they didn't seem to be able to respond specifically, and they didn't have any video to back that up. I see a violation.
I second all of that. They're well aware that evidence has to be particular to the alleged, incident, not generalities. So I definitely saw a violation.
With both of you.
Violation as to the disposition, the history, the most recent violation for a person under 21, I believe, was March of 2022.
I feel like that's long enough. In the past, this would be another first warning. But I do want to send correspondence regarding preserving video, especially when they've been written up for something.
I agree. I mean, preserving video, like we said, is an indication of how serious they're taking it. So in this instance, once again, I feel like not preserving it is an indication that they didn't take this seriously.
Good point.
Violation with a warning, correspondence about preserving video. We can also send a copy of the board's advisory about preserving video. Right, item number 3, Big Causeway LLC doing business as Big Night Live Studio B Play, located at 110 Causeway Street. Date of the incident October 19th, 2024. Assault and battery, patron on police ×2 in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13D. And assault and battery on an EMT in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13D.
So I want to start out by saying that we ask licensees to submit video and any evidence prior to our hearing. I need to get this on the record that it is completely unfair to us, the job we're trying to do here, to receive video. They agreed to send video at the hearing on Tuesday, and it was only after Executive Secretary Green reached out to them yesterday afternoon that we received 3 videos. And then 10 minutes to 9 this morning, we received an additional without a timestamp TikTok video. Thank you, but that does not allow us to do our job. I also can't remember the last time as many police officers showed up to testify on Zoom at a hearing. To me, I want to keep the record open on this one. I'm not satisfied with the evidence that was submitted. We do not have a dispersal plan. They kept talking about, well, we did our job according to our dispersal plan. It was up to the security after that. I want to see a written dispersal plan that actually demonstrates in writing how Big Night Live interacts with the private security plan that the landlord hires and with Boston Police. Even watching 2 seconds of the street video, I couldn't even count how many police officers had to respond. And the testimony was that every single police officer from A1 responded this night. I think the testimony was trying to tell us that, oh, this fight in the corner by the staircase inside is the only thing that happened that night. That fight inside, in my professional opinion, has nothing to do with the way dispersal was done that night. Something happened. I don't know what that is yet, but I don't think dispersal went well. I want additional video. The video that they submitted that had to do with dispersal, I couldn't even see a single staff member. It was just the empty escalators and some people at the lower end of the video. Unless you want to tell me what that was supposed to be, I'm left to conclude that you're not sharing information that would be helpful to us. I'd like to see additional video of all dispersal, of people leaving the building, people clearing the escalator area or clearing that pavilion area. Something is lacking. I don't know what that is yet, but it was a complete nightmare what happened that night. And there has to be some internal reports. This particular group was they had been there before. I don't know if it was a new promoter, but it's disingenuous to me as chair of the board to hear that you're trying to say that the fight inside by the staircase is the only thing that happened. And oh, we did a great job. It's the private security's basically responsibility after that. It's not. So I want to keep the record open on this. I'm going to request additional information and I'm going to request a written dispersal plan. And I'm going to put all licensees on notice that to receive video 10 minutes before a voting hearing is just not acceptable. And it's not going to be looked at favorably in the eyes of the board moving forward. Videos can help explain situations, can help explain exactly what happened on a particular night, but to send video when I know it's available. I know there's tons of video available there. The afternoon before a vote and only after being, after the request was made again is just completely unacceptable, especially for a licensee of this caliber. Those are my comments.
So first of all, I would adopt everything you said. A couple things jumped out at me, so I have my own comments. I don't know how you all would feel about them, but the first one is the licensee seems to have a misapprehension about the expectation regarding dispersal. The board is well established that we expect the adjacent area, including the sidewalks in front of the building, is part of their responsibility at the end of the night. I think they were trying to say that it ended at the sidewalk. Once they got everyone out of their courtyard onto the sidewalk, that they were absolved. That's not our expectation from my understanding in the past, so that's what I'm saying about that. Second, the third party thing, you know, that expectation we have that they should be making efforts to clear the sidewalk during dispersal. That's a non-delegable duty. If they delegate it to a third party, we're going to impute that back onto them. So, you know, if their third party didn't meet the standard, then that's between them and their third party, not us. You know, they can't just throw up their hands and say we gave it to a third party and it's their fault. Third is the idea that they don't have, you know, legal authority to chastise people on the sidewalk. They're not the police. They can't, you know, order them away. I mean, we understand where their authorities, you know, the limitations on it, but it doesn't mean they can't be out there making efforts. Okay, that's the expectation, that they're out there making reasonable efforts, encouraging people to move along. And in addition to that, if they're out there, having been in the club and witnessed who their patrons are, they can directly state, these were our patrons or these were not our patrons. So them just pushing everyone to the sidewalk and then turning around, walking away and locking themselves in the building, they're not able to say with certainty, and it was very clear during the hearing, that they wanted to imply that, oh, there's people from other places, you know, and those are patrons of other establishments. They can't say that because they weren't there. Okay, they weren't out on the sidewalk, and they can't say that, no, these people in this fight came from somewhere else, because they weren't there. They weren't doing their job. They weren't clearing the sidewalk. They turned around, they turned their back, and, you know, once again, it's another instance of willful ignorance. So I think that's all I have regarding that right now. So those are my thoughts in addition. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think the entity's lack of prompt cooperation allows the board complete discretion to make a negative inference on that. So I think, Chairman, you're actually being generous by keeping the record open. I was prepared to say that there's a violation. So I completely you know, will yield to your discretion there. But really just because there's such an operator that has operated for such a long time, they actually do know the rules and regulations. They are familiar with how we operate. And so to not cooperate with the board in a prompt manner, I think is it does not speak and it's not bode well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments. I don't want this to drag on for a long time, so I'd like to put a time limit. I know the video is available. I want to be able to see the dispersal from all angles. I didn't see any dispersal. I just saw basically an empty pavilion.
So, Chairman Joyce, so it sounds like you are requesting a written dispersal plan with specific attention paid to the relationship with Northeast Security and Boston Police at dispersal time, as well as any videos, all videos, interior and exterior, showing dispersal at closing time. Did you also mention internal reports? I thought I heard you say that. I don't know.
I would be surprised if there were not internal reports
Okay.
by this licensee. I want to see them. I want
Anything
to
else?
review them. And again, I'm going to say they know better to show up at a hearing and to not have this stuff in front of the board beforehand. It's impossible for us to do our job. I'm left to think that this is a real public safety issue. The fact that they weren't able to present this with us beforehand, and putting them on notice that it's not acceptable to send the videos, for us to chase down videos and to receive them the morning of a vote.
Is there anything additional you would like to see beyond the dispersal plan, videos of dispersal and internal reports? And then if you want to put a time limit on receiving those.
I would like them within what's today? Today's Thursday. I would like them by next Tuesday so we can review them.
Tuesday the 19th?
Yeah.
If there are any agreements between the licensee and the third party, the person who also does the security, I don't know whether it's a company or whatever, but I think there's probably, maybe there's an agreement. but we need to see as far as how dispersal is, the coordination of dispersal between the entity and.
I did have one more thing I kind of wanted your thoughts on, I guess, is I think it's clearly right out in front of that courtyard on the sidewalk. That's a no doubter in my mind. Do you guys have an opinion as to how far down the sidewalk? Is it the entire width of that building? They should be making sure it's clear on dispersal. Like, because if you go all the way down towards the parking garage, I feel like they should be covering that, because I believe that is an amenity for their patrons. I don't know what in the opposite direction, all the way down to the other end of the building there, or what. I
don't have an opinion right now. I tend to agree with you. I think licensees like to think, oh, we're only responsible for our front door. It's not the case. The board takes a very broad view of that. I would like to see the building cleared, the sidewalk in front of the building cleared. Whether that's their primary responsibility or that of the security, third-party security, I don't know, but in the end, the licensee is responsible for that. Whether they delegate that, it's up to them.
That was part of the reason why I was asking whether there was an agreement between the entity and the security, because, maybe they've talked about it, but if they haven't, that's also something that we should take into consideration.
Yeah, we will request that as well if there are already written agreements between the licensee and Northeast Security regarding coordination of dispersal. That's a good point, Commissioner Saxon. So all of that will be requested to be submitted by end of day Tuesday, November 19th, for the board's review. Thank you. Anything else on that matter? Okay. Item number 4 was not heard and will be continued to the December 10th license permits inspection hearing. Moving on to the transactional hearing, which occurred yesterday, Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. Item number 1, 107 Salem Street, Inc., doing business as Baco, located at 107 Salem Street, has petitioned to change the manager to Dario Daniel Buben Garcia.
I vote to approve Mr. Garcia as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
Sorry, I vote to approve as well.
I agree.
Item number 2, 99 Restaurants of Boston, LLC, doing business as 99 Restaurant and Pub, located at 29 to 31 Austin Street in Charlestown, has petitioned to change the manager to Brian Chucciolo.
I vote to approve Mr. Chucciolo as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 3, MWGW Carver Grand Lodge, Inc., located at 70 to 80 Talbot Ave in Dorchester, has petitioned to change the manager to Glenn Williams and has petitioned for a change of officers directors.
I vote to approve Mr. Williams as manager of record and to approve the change of officers and directors.
I agree.
I agree.
Item number 4, DW French LLC, doing business as Mita, located at 1391 Boylston Street, has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business to 4,276 square feet interior floor area, including 3,397 square feet on the first floor with main dining area, bar and bar area, kitchen and storage, 879 square feet on second floor with kitchen and office space, 750 square foot seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property, closing hour 11 p.m.
I vote to approve the amended description. I vote to approve,
That's the only change.
That's
Just
it?
Yep, just the alteration.
Thank you.
I vote to approve as well.
I agree.
Thank you. Item 5, Rodan Inc., doing business as Beacon Capital Market, located at 32 Myrtle Street, has petitioned to transfer the license to Beacon Capital Markets Inc., doing business as Beacon Capital Market at the same location. Lalit Verma, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour, and has also petitioned to pledge the license and inventory to Rodan Inc.
I vote to approve the transfer and the pledge. And Mr. Verma, who I think is already approved, but in case he's not, vote to approve him.
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you. Item 6, Locontes Boston Inc., doing business as Locontes, located at 116 Salem Street, has petitioned to transfer the license to Brook Egg Farm Inc., doing business as Locontes at the same location. Carlo Loconte, manager, 11 p.m. closing hour.
Vote to approve.
I agree.
Items 7, 8, and 9 have been withdrawn in their current iteration, and we expect they will be back with revised descriptions of premise. Items 10 through 16 are all new license applications. Chairman Joyce, I assume you will request to defer a vote on these, but I'll leave that to you.
I am requesting a deferral on the remainder of the applications.
I second, yeah.
Moving on to the non-hearing transactions, the following are applying for a new common victular license at a previously licensed location. Item number 1, Joe's Pizza and Wings LLC, doing business as Joe's Pizza and Wings, located at 111 Brighton Ave in Alston. Manager Omer Yalcin, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 2 a.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 2, Honest Taqueria LLC, doing business as Be Good, located at 84 Summer Street. Manager Magner Cardoso, hours of operation 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 3, Naya 95 Summer LLC, doing business as Naya, located at 91 Summer Street. Manager Agues Gomez, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
And item number 4, PNH Boss Go LLC, doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings Go, located at 500 Logan Airport within Terminal A in East Boston. Manager Robert Lapointe, hours of operation 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
The following have applied to make changes to their existing common victular license. Item 1, Sodexo Operations LLC, doing business as Sodexo at Young Family Cafe at 111 Francis Street, has petitioned to change the manager to Donna Spina Thomas.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
And item number 2, Lady M Newbury LLC, doing business as Lady M, located at 304 Newbury Street, has petitioned to remove Kevin J. He as national manager.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
Agree.
Following have applied for a one-day amendment to their existing license. Adair Inc., doing business as Ned Divines at 2201 Faneuil Hall Marketplace, has applied to extend their license to the contiguous space in the upper rotunda of Quincy Market for the Helms Briscoe holiday reception on November 20th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
The board has before them a list of applications for special one-day alcoholic beverage licenses, which have been administratively reviewed by staff and approved by the board. And there are no items on old and new business this week, so those are all of the items before the board. We will meet next Wednesday for the next transactional hearing. Notice will be posted to the City of Boston's website. That will adjourn this morning's hearing. Thank you all.
Thank you.